All right, we're live, and I'm here for no particular reason other than to just jump on. Haven't done much live stuff on HoonTV, and it's Friday night. It's a bit boring, just sitting around watching a bit of Netflix, getting some work done. But I just thought I'd see if there's anyone on, and if there was any questions about what's going on with HoonTV projects and stuff like that. So, anyone's around, feel free to jump in the chat, ask any questions. It's not going to be a very long video. I just thought I'd jump on for a few minutes, see if anyone's kicking around. But it's good to see a couple of people in there already. Jimmy Drift, hey bro. So yeah, just as most of you would know, I've been messing around building these, the 3-footed monsters. Started last year, and it's all going quite well. Everyone's pretty happy with them so far. As you can see, they work really well. But yeah, so that's where I am right now. I'm in the heart of where they will get made. But yeah, just been kicking around getting stuff done on the Land Cruiser, little bits and pieces. Most of it's done, but just gearing up for future potential things on it. But also this Monday coming, I am going to be taking my drag car into solid mechanical and engineering, my good friend Cam, and we're going to be getting into things. When's Frank coming to Fraser Island? Yeah, one day when travel's not completely messed up in Australia. Actually, I do want to get up there at some stage. Either myself head up there or Sam Miles. Love to catch up with him. As you may have seen, he's messing around with his 80 series now. Sorry, getting a bit off track of what I was talking about. But yeah, Sam's doing his 80 series. I am privy to what he's doing to it, so I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. I'll let him do that, whether or not he's launched that video yet. But it's going to be cool. I would love to go up there and give him a hand with it because, you know, sort of know 80s a little bit now after messing around with mine. But yeah, Sam's a cool guy. Loves what he's doing. So yeah, but anyway, back to my stuff. Yeah, Monday, the car's going into solid, and we're going to be fitting the Turbo Smart 60mm Gen V wastegate to it because the original gate that was on it was way too small. Plus, the people that put the gate on the manifold, long story short, was a terrible job, and it wasn't really helping control the boost. But don't talk crap about people. That's just, you know, bygones be bygones. Anyway, so we're going to do it properly this time, and it's going to control the boost really nicely. And also, because before I had the cable throttle body on it, we're converting it to a Raceworks supplied Bosch Motorsport throttle body, and also from Raceworks a Bosch Motorsport pedal, which is cool. So full fly-by-wire now, so we can do all the cool stuff with the tuning as well. On top of that, just a few small changes. Even though it looked cool, the big bell mouth that was on the front of the turbo, that's off now. It's just going to have like either an intake or a turbo guard on it now. The goal for the car short term is to obviously get it back running, tuned. It made approximately 800 horsepower at the wheels before, but hey, over in the UK, yeah, made approximately 800 horsepower at the wheels before. It was a bit tricky to get a rating because it was spinning up on the dyno, and part of that was because I messed up and didn't tie it down properly on the dyno. But in my defense, the last time I put a car on the dyno was in 2000, I think, or something like that, 1998. But yeah, it should. It's a fully built Barrett. It should 1,000 horsepower at the wheels shouldn't be a big ask. But either way, happy to just get the thing running and get it out, do some roll racing in it, and should be a bit of fun. Didn't really film it today, but I managed to finally get the race harnesses in and stuff like that. And whereabouts are you from? You're from Bristol, eh? Over there, I've been there. Bristol's a nice place. You're just a bit north of my friend Sean, who's down in Penzance. I'm in Adelaide, South Australia. So, but I do like the UK. Obviously, we can't travel there at the moment. But last year was the first year in about 6 years in a row that I haven't been to the UK, and 4 of those years was to the Isle of Man TT, which is freaking awesome, and I can't wait to go again. But I'm more keen to see Frank roll race. Yeah, well, funny you say that. Frank the Tank is entered to go roll racing in 2 weeks' time. So we're going to do a couple of little tweaks with the tune and a couple other things like that. But it's pretty much good to go. It's not going to be the fastest car out there by any stretch, and probably will be the slowest car out there. But hey, it's makes all the right noise and it should be a bit of fun. And you can't take it out on the street and give it a full boot full. So at least out there, it'll be a bit of fun. It's roll racing too, so it's not too much hard work on the running gear. But roll racing, smaller tyres. No, why would I do that? No, actually, at the moment, I've got the other 35s on it that were on the car before the current build. So it's still got 35s, but they're the all-terrains. Mostly because there was some events coming up, one of them being Motor X, which has now been postponed. But so I wanted to keep the nice, good tyres that were on the car and wheels and take them off just for the meantime, keep them in good condition and use the other ones. But, I'm entered for roll racing at Tail and Bend. We do have enough time to put a 500 horsepower shot of nitrous on it, but I won't do that. Here we go. Yep, there's a caddy. So the main thing is with roll racing is for me it's just a bit of fun, and there's tons of really cool cars to get out there, and there's a bit of argy-bargy with people complaining about what's what, but I mean, hey, I'm getting my drag car ready to take it out there, and I'm not really getting the drag car ready to go out and roll race with the intention of going out and winning the thing. I mean, the level of cars going out there now is mental. For me, it's more a case of taking the ute out there and actually just getting some seat time in it, because the good thing compared to say drag racing with roll racing is that you can do a lap of the track after you've gone around, and obviously not at speed or anything like that, but at least it gives me a chance in a car that I've never actually driven before to check the steering out, the brakes, make sure there's no bangs, rattles or anything like that. It all performed well and didn't do anything crazy on the dyno before, but dyno versus driving it around on a track is completely different. So be a little bit more quicker than the 1H said. Well, depends how much boost you're running in your 1HZ, but and how long you want it to last for. But the roll racing is going to be good. Yanni from YV Media, who's been doing a bit of stuff with me, he's going to be out there, so he's going to shoot a bit of stuff. Hopefully I'll have Damien from Wests out there who did the tuning on it. He's going to come for a couple of runs with me and also do a bit of road tuning on the car beforehand. As an event, it's compared to, so with my ute, the intention for that was drag racing. It's a full back-ended car with ladder bars, massive 9-inch in it, big horsepower, that sort of stuff. So the car is built to run 8s or whatever it'll get out of it. Obviously, doing that in a car takes time and runs to tweak everything and get the tunes right and all that sort of thing. But the good thing is with roll racing is just the seat time, just to enjoy it and drive it and stuff like that. And then eventually when the tracks do open again and stuff like that, be good to get out there, throw a set of slicks back on it, set up the suspension for it, and then go and see what the thing does. I mean, it's got wheelie bars, all that sort of gear. So, but for the meantime, we'll just drive it and see what it does. I mean, last time out there, it was pretty good to watch as well, even though the weather was really crazy. The wind was probably the windiest I've ever seen at Tail and Bend and on the way there. But thankfully, it didn't really sort of mess with too many of the cars out there. But I guess I've got a couple of upcoming videos happening with the YouTube channel. One being I'm going to be doing a rundown of the cooling system in the drag car, in the Land Cruiser. I'm actually making changes to the drag car as well in the cooling system. But the Land Cruiser, really fortunate to work with John and the crew at Davies Craig. And they've been fantastic. The car runs two big Davies Craig fans. You would have seen in the build, if you've watched that part, the fan motors compared to the VE Commodore ones that came out of the fan shroud were much bigger. So I'm going to be talking about that sort of stuff, but also a little bit of a general look over cooling systems and stuff like that, just to maybe dispel a few untruths about what people think when it comes to keeping a car cool. Throw in a bit of expert advice from Davies Craig there as well. But the other thing as well is I was chatting to some people the other day about people running YouTube channels and influencers and stuff like that and dealing with sponsors and getting products and stuff like that to do your channels. And I was just penning down some ideas to do maybe like a top 10 video of just sort of my advice when it comes to dealing with companies like that and actually doing the right thing by companies and creating relationships rather than just sort of grabbing products and saying thanks and putting up a crappy post. But other than that, bike wise, I am working on the bike that I came off early last year. It's mostly back together. Just a couple of small bits of fabrication to do, some changes to the suspension, but then the fairings, I've got a few ideas I mentioned in one of the videos for cool custom paint jobs and stuff like that. So the paint's probably going to be themed something around like a cool 90s model superbike. But I'm pretty keen to get that one done and dusted because the Arian replica, the Nicky Hayden one, that's sort of next in line, and I really want to get stuck into that. The long, hard part of that build is going to be the engine because that's quite an expensive thing to build, and thankfully I've been sort of knocking together bits and sticking them in a cupboard over the years just to gear myself up so it wasn't one big expensive hit. But that bike will personally mean a lot to me. I've been really lucky to talk to a lot of the guys involved in the build of the original ones. I almost actually managed to buy one of the Nicky Hayden bikes back in the day, but it was really bad timing and didn't have the right money for it at the time. But thankfully, that bike has ended up in Adam Tromp's hands at Iconic Motorbikes, and he's an absolute legend. Amazing business, just super, super passionate, and that bike is right there at home where it needs to be, and it's really cool. So I can only hope one day that the opportunity arises that when I finish mine, and if it's what I hope it ends up being, it'll be a nice tribute to the original ones, and potentially I'd love to ship it to the States and do a lap of Laguna Seca on it, which would be totally cool. But that's something down the track and would make for some pretty cool YouTube content, I think. But yeah, plenty of ideas kicking around. Just it's all about time and availability of doing things at the moment because it is pretty tricky going places and doing things. So hopefully I've got a sort of medium road trip planned for next month, and the Land Cruiser. The only thing I haven't got in it yet, which is something that's totally doable, is cruise control. And being a there you go. Yep. The cruise control on the Land Cruiser being fly-by-wire and using like Commodore pedal and stuff like that. I make it sound simple, but there's a couple of companies that do cruise control setup where you basically unplug the pedal and you give it a vehicle speed sensor output, and then the cruise controller intercepts the pedal. So it basically confuses the ECU into thinking that you're putting your foot down just to modulate the speed. So that's something I really like because my other car's got cruise control, and I love cruise control. After having many cars over the years without cruise control, having an FG Falcon with cruise control in it's just nice. You can sort of turn your brain off and just enjoy the driving rather than having to worry about speed cameras and stuff like that. So yeah, but we've got a couple of people in here. What's everyone doing tonight? I mean, jump over in the comments. Anyone been working on their cars today? It's been a Saturday. I mean, I've spent a bit of time out in the shed getting some stuff done on the drag car, but also I've been running backwards and forwards to places trying to get nuts and bolts and bits and pieces, which is tricky on a Saturday in Adelaide. But what's cruise control? Cruise control is it's like the magic that makes your car move. So, but anyway, I guess I won't ramble on too long. Just wanted to jump on here for a bit and say hello to some people. It's already been 14 minutes, so I will finish off though in saying that these are a product that are made by me and the business that is HoonTV, and they are selling really well now, which is great. And everyone that's been using them loves them. Even caught up with Luke from Full Boost the other day. He sent me some pictures the other day doing the Nomang Commodore with a Barra motor in it. They were using this under the bonnet and off the dyno fan, stuff like that for GoPros, but also people are using for phones and lights and other bits and pieces. I actually have one here right now with a light on it. So, and that's just hanging up here just to make me have some nice skin tones. But if you want one of these, you can jump on the 3-Footed Monster website and use the coupon code MyMonster, which will give you a discount. And but you won't regret it. They are full CNC machined at 6061 billet, and very good quality bit of gear. I didn't want to make something that was cheap and cheerful. I wanted to make something that somebody goes, man, I've been using this thing for 10 years and it's still going as well as when I bought it. So, if you want to jump on, grab one of them, I would highly appreciate it. And we tend to try and ship them out as soon as we can. So, just got back from KI. I might head to Roll Racing Watch. Yep, well, I'll definitely be there. So, and hopefully maybe even at the track on the day as well. So, cam upgrade and headers, high flow cats. Twix money, can't get back. I'm guessing, Bill, you got what's a LS powered? I can't quite see your thumbnail there, but it looks like a Commodore maybe. But I definitely the cam in the Land Cruiser is cool. It's a VCM 11 cam, which is a pretty chunky cam. Probably not the cam I would have picked if I was to choose one, but there you go, 2009 Caprice. So that'll be a 6-litre VE sort of spec, I'm guessing. L98. And when's more upgrades? The 80s coming. Drop mine. Oh yeah, nice. LS3. Who's doing the conversion for you? That's cool. With the cam in mind, the engine you would have seen in the build, it came from Darren at River Murray Auto Wreckers. Really lucky. It was a super low kilometre car that somebody smashed into the back of. It was a W310 Walkinshaw package car. So Adelaide all that way. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, cool. Definitely. When you go to get it engineered and stuff like that, I highly recommend Sot from Speed Garage. He is great to work with. My car, it was just a breeze getting that done. I mean, as long as you do everything properly and you follow his lead and do everything he requests. My car went through Regency the first time. I've heard some horror stories about people going back multiple times and just for little minor niggly things. But it's definitely worthwhile doing. Plus, I mean, touch wood, I haven't been bugged by any police yet in my car. Most people just tend to look at it and sort of think it's something different. But if I did happen to get pulled over, the best thing is I've got a folder of paperwork there and a sticker under the bonnet that says that it's engineered and that it's engineered for the engine, the cam, the suspension, tyres, all that sort of stuff, which is totally cool. So, upgrades, next lot of how many mine's only a 2-inch lift, so I'm not sure how you'll go with a 4-inch lift. You can only ask. Getting engineered. I guess it all just depends on what the setup is. Because the engineers, they see more than just what the parts are and stuff like that. They look at loads and all that sort of thing. So I have seen cars that have been engineered with 4-inch lifts or bigger. So, but for mine, I always had this thing about building the car rather than going and doing like a big lift and stuff like that. I wanted a car that I could have a lift kit in, but still be able to get into an undercover car park and stuff like that. Because at the time, before doing the Frank the Tank conversion on the car, it was my daily driver, and often working for a place like Channel 9 and that, I'd be parking in the city and underground car parks and stuff like that. So there's no point having a car with a 6-inch lift kit and a 4-inch body lift and roof racks and stuff like that, and then not being able to park it anywhere. So mine will head off with full drive 27. Oh yeah, nice. I know Shauno and Glenn very well. I used to work with them at Full Drive Action magazine. I actually, not taking any credit for everything, but back then that was when Sean had never even been on camera before, so that was pretty cool. So I caught up with him at the Full Drive show not long ago, and big pat on the back for those guys for doing such a brilliant job with what they're doing now. Massive following. They're really passionate about what they do, and they've made a living out of it. So, anyway. Well, 35s on an 80 series will pretty much go on without a lift anyway. I mean, you won't get a lot of flex out of them, but they, compared to other cars, they do have like a reasonably big wheel arch. And when I was actually at Full Drive Action back then, I had a Disco 1. I was just what was I doing at the moment? I was there. I had this Disco 1. I'd always liked them, and I bought a V8 one. It was a really nice, clean car. And the crazy idiots of Full Drive Action are like, "Hey, you want to do a tech story on your car?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And the next thing I knew, it had a 2-inch suspension, like spring lift in it, and then got a set of wider rims for it, some 33-inch Goodyear muddies for it, and then Anthony from Cross Full Drive, who does a lot of Land Rovers, he jumped on board and supplied a set of the bolt-on flares for it, which are really cool, and a very nerve-wracking experience, getting a very clean and tidy silver disco and ripping into the guards and doors and stuff like that to cut the guards up. But the finished product was pretty cool. It was a really nice car. It had a big exhaust on it. It was chipped and all that sort of thing. Main reason, even like tube bars and stuff like that. But main reason I got rid of it back then was it was just super thirsty. I'd thought about ideas for going on gas and stuff like that at the time, like a nice gas injection and that. But my partner and I at the time, we just needed more sort of economical, reliable car. So I bit the bullet, and the guy that bought it loved it. So I did have a lot of fun in that car full driving, though. At the time, we were living in the Central Coast in Sydney, and before that, living in Sydney with the Full Drive Action guys, it was great because we'd go up Zigzag Railway and all that, and the Central Coast up in the Wattagans and stuff like that all the time. So it was some really nice places to go up there, and even a car that didn't have lockers or anything in it, like it was really really capable car. And discos, they flex really well and they drive really nice. What economy am I getting out of the 80? I am really, really blown away by how well it is going. I think I've had it down to about 15 litres per 100. Just driving to, say, Tailem Bend and back, it's really nice just on the freeway. The cam does make it a bit tricky because it's got it's a little bit dead between 2 and 3, but that's mainly just because of that cam being more suited to like a manual car, a car with a bigger stall converter and stuff like that. But compared to the 1FZ, which was a high mileage engine, so it was, a little bit worn out, that was sort of struggling to get under 20 litres per 100. And anyone that has a 1FZ, they've got tons of torque and they're all right. But I mean, it's nice having a V8 again. And so, I mean, you build a car with a 6-litre V8 and you don't necessarily build it to for economy and stuff like that. And like you've mentioned there, Bailey, it's like, if I wanted something economical, I'd go out and buy a turbo diesel Ranger or something like that. But for me, the 80 series was kind of cool because I've got a mix of what I call a full drive, a street machine, and a hot rod all in one. So, it's just nice to drive, and I enjoy it. And without swearing too much, it's kind of cool. I get people sort of yelling out to me and waving and giving me the thumbs up and stuff like that in it. Even today, some girl who worked at Bunnings yells out when I was there. She goes, "Oh, that's fucking sick." But it's all good and fun, and I'm enjoying driving it, and really happy I engineered it. So I guess next mods for the car. I caught up with Ryan from Advanced Headers yesterday on the phone. We were having a chat, mostly just because sometimes, even though it passed Regency and stuff like that, sometimes I come and go here early in the morning or late at night, come home. I'm actually fitting a bimodal muffler to it. So that'll just adding that into the system. So that just gives it a flap in there so that, I can sort of sneak out without, harassing my neighbours and stuff like that in the morning, and just sort of be respectful. But on top of that, probably some electronics in the car. I had thought about some ideas before, but I just wanted to sort of get the car through Regency and keep it all simple. There are guidelines on the South Australian Transport website for what size spotlights you can use and that sort of thing. So I'll keep it all within that because I don't need to do anything ridiculous. But build a Prius on an 80 series chassis. We're not friends anymore. No, why would you even do that? I do have a friend, Gav, who works at a Toyota dealer who does have an 80 and a Prius. Maybe I can suggest it to him. But so spotlights. Because the intention of the car, doing television production, stuff like that, I wanted to fit like an inverter into the back of it and have some 240 volt outlets and stuff like that. Other than that, it's not a lot really to do. Maybe some lighting in the back, but I just want to keep it simple and not go too overboard. Not really too fussed with stuff like winches and all that and bits and pieces. As most of my friends know, I'm not really too fussed about going to any crazy full driving in it just yet. I just want to keep the car looking nice for a while, just while I've got some, commitments to do in it and some shows and events to go to. Plus, I want to do some road trips in it and, eventually maybe even do an international trip in it. But, we'll see how that rolls out. But, other thoughts with the car would be maybe at some stage do a supercharger or something like that. But nothing too crazy just yet. I'm just enjoying what I've got, and plus having the drag car, that's going to be enough to keep me excited for a minute as well. But big lithium battery and red arc, that sort of stuff. Like a secondary battery in the car and probably like a red arc inverter setup or something like that. Potentially means I'd have to change the air intake and stuff like that. But dual alternators, that's always a good thing with them. Twin turbos, yep. Yeah, there's quite a few companies doing the Siamese turbos now as well, which is pretty cool. I think Nelson Racing in the States were the original guys to do them, but it's cool having turbos that sort of match each other. It looks cool in the engine bay. I think that's mostly what it's all about, aesthetics. But either that or just a single turbo. But then again, supercharger to me would probably be the easier option just because they literally just bolt on and there's no massive amounts of messing around, no extra plumbing, no oil lines, all the stuff that I've had to deal with the drag car. So to me, that seems like the better option, plus from a torque point of view. But that's right, mirrored turbos. I think they were called mirror image. Where to get the bonnet from? That's from Blitz Bonnets in Queensland. Absolutely, without a doubt, highly recommend those guys. Not because they help me out, because the product is actually a brilliant product. The bonnet is 100% street legal. It comes with an ADR paperwork, like ADR paperwork from them. They actually ask for your VIN number, so they actually write out the paperwork, send it to you. When I took the car to the engineer, he added that paperwork into the engineer's report, wrote it up, and then at Regency Park, when it got inspected, they didn't even bat an eyelid at it. They saw that it was all legal. It's got all the proper meshing in the vents and everything, but it is a double skin bonnet and everything like that. And functionality wise, it is brilliant because it lets in air at the front and lets air out of the back. So a lot of people complain about high under bonnet temps and engine temps and stuff like that. I can't speak personally from experience for before and after because I only fitted the bonnet on this build, but Mark from APM, who is the guy that helped out with the radiator in the car, he saw mine and then he went and got himself one, and he said that he was seeing under bonnet temperatures 10 degrees less on the freeway up to where we are. So, definitely a really good option. He's been around bloody good price. Yeah, well, we try and support everyone. The bonus about doing the multiple buys with the 3-footed monster is that you do save money, and the discount code does apply if you buy 1, 2, or there's a selection on there for 5 as well. And I've also got a pretty good deal on if you want to buy one of them and a GoPro Hero 9 as well, because 3-footed monster, the site is actually a licensed GoPro dealer. So, we can get GoPros direct from the importers, which is great. So we can do a combo deal with them. But, what was I saying? Has Frank been seen and approved by Ruthie? funnily enough, I spent a lot of time with Ruthie working at Full Drive Action, and back then Ruthie actually, I'm guessing he probably still has it, but he did actually have an 80 series, his family truck, and that was back in the days when Milo was. I went up to Queensland and helped Ruthie and Alan from Terrain Tamer fit the new engine to the car. That was all pretty cool. I've been to Cape York with Ruthie, all over New South Wales, some Victoria. Did a big trip around Tasmania with Ruthie, which was kind of cool. Did the same sort of trip, but a bigger one earlier last year with 4x4 Australia, which was pretty cool as well. But funny you mentioned Ruthie, because I actually texted him a couple of hours ago, just out of the blue, and sent him a picture of this. So that's actually, so you can see, look, Ruthie. Well, it actually says John because that's his name. But I seem to know everyone. Well, I guess it's just because I've worked around a bunch of different places. But yeah, I did actually spend quite a bit of time with Ruthie. And that 40 series owned by Anthony at South Coast Window Tinting is a really nice car. He's had it all resprayed and everything like that. He's a total Land Cruiser tragic. But so I got some cool photos of that, sent it through to Ruthie, and I think he got a bit nostalgic about Milo. And funnily enough, too, if you follow Ruthie and the Full Drive Action stuff from back then, Ruthie actually bought a troop carrier he called Mustard a while ago. I actually found that for him, went and looked at it. So I was glad he bought it because it was a bloody nice car. That was a trophy that was in Wolf Creek. I don't think so, because I think he's only had it resprayed in the last 12 months. There are a few cool trophies around like that. The guys from that were at the Full Drive show, I'll just bring them up here, Matt and Haley. If you want to follow some really cool people. Whoop. Sorry, Matt and Holly. I keep calling her Haley. I'm an idiot. These two. They were at the Full Drive show. Really nice couple. Really awesome troopy. They stepped back from a Hilux to get into a 40 series troopy, and they've been traveling all over the place. So jump on Instagram and follow them. It's just Overland Travelers. Really nice couple, and they take some really nice photos and video and stuff like that. And just they're both obviously just super passionate about what they do, and just nice people. Like, it was a pleasure chatting to them. Be cool to catch up with them again. I think they're back in New South Wales now, but they've been building their YouTube channel up, and that's growing quite quickly as well, which is great. And it all happens because they're making great content. But you're following them for sure. Now, what did you mention here? Coming to Adelaide Caravan Show. When's that? When is that? I'm guessing that's going to be later in the year if you reckon you're going to have your 80 done for that. So, who knows? I'm not sure what's... there you go. 17th to the 21st of Feb. You're going to be working fast on that 80 series. So, I guess, when it comes to engine conversion and stuff, with mine, we got the engine into my car before Summer Nats. The goal was to get the car aesthetically finished to a point for Summer Nats, and had the engine sitting in it. But just with all of the little things, like even bigger stuff as well, like wiring and exhaust systems and everything like that, there's a lot of time-consuming stuff in there. But also, being on the mechanic by trade originally, I just didn't want to rush anything with the car. So I just want to make sure everything was done once and done properly. So, when you tend to rush things, you can cut corners and stuff like that. So, but if you've got the right people working on the car, these guys that have got your car there, they've, from what I know, they've done tons of LS swaps and conversions. So, it'll be good to see how quickly they can turn it around. I guess for me, it was the first time for me, and also the guys from Tough Mounts who helped me. So, we're sort of learning as we're going. But if those guys have done them time and time again, they probably do it with their eyes closed. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess I'm going to hit the road. And, thanks for watching. I know I'm not the most exciting person out there. I'm living the monotone life. But, yeah, I guess for me, my YouTube channel is more about it's more a diary, really. I'm not trying to be a TV presenter or anything like that. I'm never going to start a HoonTV show, and nothing, no disrespect to the people that do, by saying, "Hey, welcome to HoonTV in this episode." It's not what it's all about for me. It's just me sort of documenting bits and pieces of what I'm doing, and also, stuff like the Land Cruiser build with Burson involved. That was really great because I guess they just sort of see me as a guy who likes building cars and bikes and stuff like that. So it's been really good. I'm really hoping I can get over to Victoria very soon to take the car there and show them to Burson's headquarters and that sort of thing. So and if that happens, I'll be doing a bit of a detour and some cool driving over there and seeing a few sites and bits and pieces and catching up with mates as well. So but that's all dependent on how things go with this COVID and border closures and everything like that. So fingers crossed at the moment things are going pretty well in Adelaide and and Victoria. So fingers crossed. I know Sydney's had a few bumps and ups and downs, but hopefully that'll blow over soon enough as well. So thanks for watching, and everyone stay safe, all that sort of mumbo jumbo, and really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching, and new video coming, I'd like to say very soon, but I'm still working on the script. So yeah, I'll probably mess around, do a couple of quick videos in the meantime, but these two bigger ones, they'll be a bit of fun. So thanks for watching, and comment on Sam Miles' upcoming video when he announces what he's doing, because it should be a bit of fun. So hoping that one day we can get our 80s together and get a video together. So have a good night. Catch you later. Now, where's this button? End stream.